Hi, this is Terry Healy bringing you some extraordinary transformation. Today's show is brought to you by Ryan Everhart with Diamond Residential Mortgage. Don't assume that all mortgage companies are the same. They're not. Ryan has a profound compassion for his clients and their families and their wallets. His office is conveniently located on Route 30 in Valparaiso. He is at 350 Northland Drive. His direct phone line is 219-707-8429. Ryan, thank you again for supporting the show and supporting community radio. You are listening to WVLP at 103.1 FM, also live streaming at wvlp.org. Today I have the opportunity, the privilege of interviewing somebody, and this is a long time coming and finally coming to fruition. I am with Schlueter-Kim, and she is the Executive Director of Girls on the Run of Northwest Indiana. So, and those of you that aren't familiar with the organization, it's been around for a little while now.
Yeah, we have been here for a long time. We've been here for 13 years. Gosh. Nationally, it's been around for 23 years.
Ah, yeah, you've had a good run of that then.
Yeah, we've been around for a good chunk of that time.
Yeah. So, for anybody who's not familiar, and those that are, just kind of bear with us. Can you tell us what is Girls on the Run?
So, like I said, it's a national program, but it's an after-school program for girls in 3rd through 8th grade, and our mission is to inspire girls to be joyful, healthy, and confident, and we use a curriculum that integrates running. So the national office is responsible for the programming, so that they have developed just an amazing curriculum for both girls in 3rd through 5th grade and girls in 6th through 8th grade. The middle school program is called Heart and Soul, but overall it's called Girls on the Run. The curriculum is evidence-based, so it's been researched. We do pre and post surveys for the program. There's Dr. Mo Weiss up at the University of Minnesota has done extensive research on it to confirm that it is impactful. So the way the program is structured makes a huge impact on our girls. It's a 10-week program. They meet twice a week for 10 weeks. We have a spring season and a fall season, and we're all throughout Northwest Indiana.
So a lot of things that I know about the organization, but one of the things that I remember was that it was difficult to actually get into the program because there's only so many girls that can be served at each location.
Yeah, sometimes it is. Yeah, sometimes it is. So our teams are limited. If we have 2 coaches, we can have up to 15 girls.
Okay.
If we have 3, we can have up to 20 girls. And some of our sites have been around for a long time, and we call them super sites. They will have 30, 45 girls, so they have multiple teams with many, many coaches.
Wow.
But some of our sites only have 2 coaches or maybe 3, so they're really limited to 15 girls, especially newer sites. So that then when there's a limit of 15, it is hard to get in, and sometimes we have girls on the waiting list that aren't getting in, which we hate.
Yeah, no kidding, because it's like there's this
we want every girl to do it.
Yeah. So twice a week they're meeting for 10 weeks, and then the culmination, what happens at the end of that?
So through the program, they get lessons every day. The lessons are all around getting to know themselves, getting along with a group, like learning about being a good friend and standing up for themselves and for each other, and then how to be a part of your community, which includes doing a community project. And through all of these lessons, they all build upon each other. Through all these lessons, they are exercising and preparing to do a 5K. And they can run that 5K, walk that 5K, they can roll that 5K. Our goal is to get them all across the finish line.
Yeah.
So as they're doing these lessons, they're also learning about exercise and how good it makes them feel, and how they can do it with friends, and it can be fun to exercise, and also just that great sense of setting a goal for themselves and achieving that goal. So at the end of the season, we have a huge celebratory 5K, and it's more of a party than a run, but we don't time it.
Right.
The girls come early, and they get their face painted. We did hairspray. We have a DJ. Lots of fun games going on, and then they run, walk, or roll that 5K, and they get a medal and they cross the finish line. We encourage them to bring a family member or friend to do it with them. We call them running buddies. And sometimes it's their running buddy's first time too, so that sense of accomplishment for both the girl and their adult person they bring with them is just great to see at the finish line. I think you've been at the finish line before.
I have.
You know, it's the
I
best
have.
place to be
Yeah.
at the 5K.
I remember one of the running buddies, an adult, who'd said, "Where's my medal?" And
Yeah.
she really wanted a medal, and I was like,
and you know
"Oh, I
what?
don't have those."
Last year, we decided that she was right. Everyone deserves a medal, so
Oh,
we've switched
wow.
to everyone gets a medal.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah, we felt bad not giving medals to the adults and other kids that worked hard to cross that finish line too. So we include that now.
Well, I think what's neat is that it's been a girl that's gone through the program, is that she's touching the lives of other girls. So you almost see like, younger sisters or cousins or whatever coming up going, they already understand, they want to get in, they know this is like, they saw it happen for the older one.
Yes.
And they get to be a part of it.
We hear that a lot with girls, especially if their sisters have done it or their moms or dads have coached.
Yeah.
They grow up and they're like, when do I get to be a girl in the run? So when they finally get to 3rd grade, they're very excited to do it.
Yeah, and my gosh, going 13 years, I'm like, oh my gosh, isn't that something?
It is.
There's going to be a time when the girls that are going through the program are coming back and coaching or having the opportunity to do that?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
We just started a new official program called Junior Coaches.
Okay.
We've always included high school age, even middle school age girls as assistant coaches for our teams, but now Girls in Run International, we helped pilot a program, an official junior coach program, and it's geared towards girls who are juniors and seniors in high school.
Okay.
Or 16 and older. So, but they have to come to national coach training with us. They have to commit to leading at least one lesson.
Okay.
They keep a journal about their experience, and there's a few other requirements. So they really have to be very intentional about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to give our junior coaches an opportunity to get apply for a little scholarship at the end.
Nice.
A little one, not big, but
it's money.
It's a great thing to put on a college application or a job, a resume even.
That's a good point.
They have shown the discipline of coming to the lessons, of being a leader, of being a mentor to the girls. So it's a lot of good skills. And they also kind of learn those lessons too.
Well, sure.
Or get them reinforced if they've been in the program already.
Why do they have them journaling?
I think just to reflect upon the lessons that they've been working on for the day, and also to reflect on, watching their experience as a coach to girl relationship building and building relationships between girls. Some of the stuff we work on, like in coach training, they're reflecting on those important things that we talk about in coach training, like building a mastery climate versus performance climate. Like, how did you see you building a mastery climate today for the girls? Encouraging them to run a little farther than they did yesterday, as opposed to encouraging them to run faster than another girl, which is more of a performance climate, right? So that's what we encourage our coaches to do. So the junior coaches then will kind of reflect on that. So they really are learning things about how to be a good coach, how to be a good mentor.
Right.
And we want that to stick with them.
Sure. Well, yeah, look at what that's going to do.
Right.
Yeah, for them. I get that.
And then we also do have coaches who are adults, teachers, who have done the program. Especially, we have a few that grew up in Michigan, where the program's been around even longer.
Yeah.
And they did it when they were kids. But now we have girls that have done our program now who are graduating from college or have graduated already. My daughter, it was one of my first coder girls. She was in 3rd grade, our first season, and she's graduating from BU this spring. So,
oh my goodness,
we'll see if she coaches. But I know,
she kind of has to.
Yeah, she kind of does. But
no pressure. I didn't realize she was ready to graduate. That's where I got blown away for there for a second.
She's getting ready to graduate. Yeah.
Yeah. I think do you think she wants to be a coach or be involved in it, or?
It's not as such a good fit for her as it is for my middle daughter, Zoe, who actually works for me here part-time. She is very much a grown-up coder girl. She grew up in the program, since she was in 1st grade. I've been doing this, so she definitely, it's part of her identity, I would say. And
Sure.
she's actually coaching Heart and Soul for us this season, which is our middle school
wonderful.
program.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's a good role model for the girls. But yeah.
What drew you to this 13 years ago?
Well, a couple things. So, when I first learned about Girls on the Run, my family and I had just moved back here to Northwest Indiana. My husband and I have been living in Chicago, and we have 3 girls, and we moved back here when my youngest daughter, Willow, was born with a brain abnormality. And we knew that she'd need to be in the hospital a lot and need a lot of care. So we wanted to move back to a place where my sisters were. My dad was still here at the time, and we needed that family support because my kids were 5 and 3 when Willow was born, so they were little. Haley was just about ready to start kindergarten. So we just needed that support. So we moved back here, and we were kind of in and out of the hospital doing all those things. And I really wanted to get back to work, but working with a child with special needs is challenging. So I had read an article in Runner's World about Molly Barker, who's the founder of Girls on the Run, and the program. And as I read it, I just fell in love with it. It not only talked about, raising girls intentionally to be just confident, proud girls, healthy girls, which was important to me since I have 3 daughters, but it used a lot of social work language, which I have my master's in social work, and I'd worked as a social worker in Chicago, and it used running, which is something I'd been doing since I was like 14 years old, so a very long time, 30 some years, 35, 30 something, math. But it was the combination of that running, social work, raising strong girls. It just was a perfect fit for me. So I decided I would apply to start a council here. And at the time, you had to first get approval from Girls on International to start a council. So I recruited friends and other women I knew to help me kind of work on that project. And we got approved, and then we became a 501c3 and took off from there. But it just really resonated with me. It just really felt like meant to be. And looking back now, I see that it's definitely like my calling, my vocation for sure.
And it's kind of like, if you look at the things from like an angle that I look at things from, is that some things in our life we don't understand the reason why it shows up, but it's to prepare you for where you're going.
Right.
So I'm like, how interesting. Here you had your master's in social work and working in the field, and then all of the things that it's like everything coming together.
And one of my social work jobs was I was working as a social worker with relative foster care. So I was a case manager for families, for kids who were living with relatives, but they were in the foster care system.
Okay. Yep.
And their moms were all just young women who had just made really poor choices for themselves. And the common theme I saw was they had no self-confidence, no self-worth, and made choices that they were kind of maybe influenced into, or found no other choice for themselves. And I remember thinking, I wish I'd known these girls when they were younger. And they knew that their value in the world. And so that always stuck with me. And the ability to be on the prevention end of things was so appealing to me. Like, let's get these girls when they're young so they learn their value and they learn what they are bringing to the world. We talk a lot about just how unique each girl is and the strengths they bring to the world. And instead of squashing them down and trying to fit into some other kind of expectation about what a girl or a woman is supposed to be, encouraging them to just be their true selves, and that we can celebrate that, and hopefully they find confidence in that. So that was a big important thing that led me down my path, was working with those young women.
I think what strikes me is that I don't know of any other resource out there that brings that to a young girl's life. So my head is like all the social media, all the things that these girls are the expectations that are placed upon them that weren't even placed upon us in our generation. I mean, the things that are now things they do, their rites of passage or whatever, and how this counteracts a lot of all that. Or maybe a girl can come from, at least maybe pick up something, put it in her pocket and say, I'm not going to make that choice. I'm not going to post that on social media. I'm not going to share that picture. I'm not going to be... I mean, that's where it just got, like, wow. Wow. Like, even to know that there's another option is, I think, first and foremost. But then, like, I'm guessing that in the way that you guys deliver your curriculum and you work this, that they actually get a chance to try it on and work through it and massage it a little bit before it's not just somebody going, don't do that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the great thing about this curriculum is, so we'll introduce the topic of the day, the lesson, the concept, and there's always a checking for understanding if they know what that means, and something like standing up for yourself. So, when we talk about that, we talk about standing up for yourself, but with respect to the person, being able to express yourself without getting angry, but being very clear about what you want and how you're feeling. And then they're given chances to practice that. And then they check in with them in a few lessons. Did anyone use what we learned at home? So the goal is to teach these lessons and make sure that they're able to transfer them to their lives. And they might even use it in the lesson if there's some conflict. The coach might take two girls aside and say, I see she's bothering you. Do you have something that you need to say? And then practice that skill.
Wow.
So it's a lot of practicing and processing those lessons.
It also, like, what strikes me when you're saying all that is, like, how many times that there isn't access to, like, just even those healthy mechanisms, just so here we might have a young girl that is in a situation or lives in a situation that those are not things that are ever brought or introduced to, just the parents don't have them in the skill set. They just don't, they're doing the best they can, but they just don't know how to do that. How this could actually be a lot of times the first introduction to a lot of these concepts. Right,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I noticed we have our girls do some, on rainy days, we'll have them do like a thank you note. So, and one of the questions is, what did you learn new that you didn't know before? And time and time again, the empathy is a word that comes up. Like they had never heard that before. Just a new word for them. I mean, some of them are 8, but just, not that their family doesn't show empathy, but they just didn't know the word that went along with that. So learning these new skills. And social emotional learning is, a huge focus right now in schools, but it's hard for them to squeeze that stuff in. So this is just like some extra time to get those lessons in.
Yeah. Well, and what a cool setting. So here it's a small group setting. I'm sure there's a level of intimacy that comes pretty quickly between the girls and the coaches and all that good stuff. I'm also present to the sense of, like, how it ripples out, and these are things I've never thought about in all this conversation, but so here you've got a girl that gets those skills that aren't maybe accessible to her where she's living and who's raising her, and she has siblings around her, older, younger, or even her parents, and she's able to try these things on, and then that affects that person, then that affects them, and on and on and on, is kind of where my...
Well, I remember when my sister Jody, who works with me, she's our program director, but she was coaching still at Merkley in Highland, and one of her girls came up to her. We have a lesson about bullying, and she said, I want to talk to you about bullying, and Jody said, are you being bullied? And she said, no, I think I'm a bully. I know. She grew up. I know, but she is in a house with boys, and boys are expressing their emotions and themselves very differently, and she just was caught up in the kind of being aggressive and the fighting and rough and tumble stuff that is just her house,
So surviving.
Yeah. And she found herself acting in ways at school that she just wasn't real happy with. So she talked a lot with Jody about, like, maybe changing that a little bit. I thought that was pretty self-aware and pretty incredible.
That's amazing
to think about.
Yeah, because think of now all the people that she'll be coming in contact with that won't experience her in the same way.
And it's so good for her too. I mean,
sure.
Being someone who's engaging in bullying type behavior, that makes her a tough life. That makes her a tough go in grade school and middle school.
And it can't feel right. It can't feel good for her, or anybody who's doing that.
Right.
So I know you've got a big fundraising event coming up.
Yes.
Let's promote that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's the sneaker soiree. And a lot of girls in the run councils across the country kind of ran with that theme, for their gala / fundraiser. We definitely don't do things traditionally, so a traditional gala just did not seem right for us. So we wanted to do something just a little bit differently. So we encourage people to wear cocktail attire and tennis shoes. Not necessarily running shoes, but something comfortable because, really importantly, we have a band called Spoken For that we bring in every year from Chicago, and we love them. So it's just dance music all night.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Patrician this year.
Okay.
We have a lot of amazing silent auction items. We have an open bar with beer from Three Floyds and New Oberpfalz.
Cool.
We have wine and a signature cocktail to be determined. And amazing desserts by Albanese. So lots of chocolate and gummy bears. And also the pastry chef from Horseshoe also does an amazing cake and cupcakes for us. So very generous sponsors and supporters. And then we also, last year we did a wall of wine, which is a wine raffle. We had 100 bottles of wine, and the first prize was 50 bottles of wine.
Oh my goodness.
And second prize was 30, and third prize was 20. It was a lot of fun.
That's I never heard of them.
Yeah,
and
so much fun that we added a barrel of beer this year. So
I love this.
We have a lot of craft beer lovers around here, including myself.
Yeah.
So we're also doing a barrel of beer. So we've got raffle tickets for that will be selling starting next week.
Oh, before
the event. Yeah, we sold most of them before the event last year, so you don't have to be present to win that.
Cool.
And then our silent auction, we'll be doing mobile bidding, so I think we'll have an opportunity to even bid from the comfort of your own home for that too. That. So
how cool! And I know I've never been anywhere that had the mobile bidding, but I think the concept is really neat.
I think it'll be good. Yeah.
What's the date of the event?
It is Saturday, April 18th.
Okay.
At the Patrician. It starts at 6:30.
6:30.
Tickets are on sale right now at our website.
Okay.
Just www.GOTROFNWI, so Girls on the Run of Northwest Indiana.org.
Awesome. How much are the tickets?
Tickets right now are $65.
Okay. It's well worth it.
And we will sell out, so
gotta
get those tickets now.
Yeah, get them.
It's super fun, right?
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and the band is amazing. They're like and I follow a lot of bands, so I can speak to that.
You're definitely a band aficionado.
I'm a connoisseur.
Connoisseur for sure.
But they are so lively, and they're one of the few bands that actually engage with the people that are there. So that makes it an amazing experience to be somebody. Whether or not you know how to dance, it doesn't matter. They're out there. They're pulling you in. They know you're there. It's just.
And we love them. They really get the go-ter spirit. They all wear tennis shoes.
Oh, do they? I didn't notice that.
They do. They wear tennis shoes.
Oh, it's funny.
They're very, they dress very well. They're very well dressed. But, like, can we wear tennis shoes too? I'm like, yeah, you better. So they get the spirit of the event, and they'll play any dance music you can think of every decade.
Yeah. They
just keep it going.
Yeah.
But even if you don't dance, there's plenty to do.
Plenty to do.
Yeah, and really great food too. So.
Yeah, it's so well worth it, and obviously a great cause, So, and I'm going. So yeah, anybody knows.
Yay.
Come on out and dance with me
come
there.
dance with Terry. That sounds like a. Maybe we should have a raffle for that.
We should. We should.
Get to dance with Terry.
Right. I do like that, and I know that you're going to sell out. So everybody get into that. And I was, where my head is when I had attended the event that that head pastry chef had created this cake that was in the shape of a sneaker.
Yes.
With all of the fondant, and the even like the laces of the shoe. I was just.
She's so talented.
Oh my goodness, it was amazing.
I'm
amazing.
blanking on her name. I wish I could remember because she literally has like entered contests, like baking contests, and won them. So
right.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
If you saw the sneak preview, you'd know.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see what she comes up with.
I know. I can't wait to see.
And what she does.
This is something new.
I love it.
Yeah,
so I wanna go back and maybe kind of visit or touch on some of the stories or things that you have experienced. I remember having the opportunity to talk to a couple of girls that were in the program at one of the schools, and the question was posed to this little girl, tell Miss Terry, what's the biggest thing you're getting from Girls on the Run? What have you gotten? And this girl said, I learned how to feel my feelings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was like,
yeah, that's big.
That's big for me. I know. And here I'm looking at this little gal getting
like,
that.
Tell me, how do you
I know,
do
right?
it?
Right?
Yeah.
Can we talk? I'll buy you coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just that struck me.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about is like comfortable and uncomfortable feelings. So instead of making, being sad or being angry like a negative feeling, it's just a feeling that's not as comfortable as happy, or joyful. It's uncomfortable, but you still need to experience it and you need to express it. So we do talk a lot about that and getting your feelings out. But I was really thinking about this last season, our fall season. We were part of the pilot with Girls on the Run International on inclusion for girls with special needs, and they officially rolled out this season a change to our Girls on the Run coach training, so that we really focus some more on how to adapt a lesson for a girl with special needs. And that could be a physical disability or vision or hearing disability or a cognitive disability. So really trying to figure out, if we take this lesson, what do we need to do to make sure that every girl gets the most out of her experience? So last season, a little girl, her name is Ellie, she did our LaPorte 5K, and her mom shared that Ellie was born with spina bifida, and things didn't look great at the beginning. They told her that it's possible she would never walk, and we have this amazing picture of her running across the finish line. Her mom was behind her with her wheelchair, but she ran a good portion of that 5K, and needed some breaks. But that's what I'm talking about, like accommodations. Sure. It's fine to take breaks if that's what you need to get through the 5K. Then we'll make that work. So to see her cross the finish line, let me tell you, it's always emotional at the finish line, but that was a really emotional one. For a little girl like that to set her sights on finishing a 5K and being a part of that was pretty great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah. So we just want to make sure every girl has the access to the program, and be it physically or financially, we want to make sure every girl has the ability to be a part of Girls on the Run. So that's really important to us.
What does it cost for a girl to go through the program?
So we offer the program on a sliding scale.
Okay.
Our fee is $160.
Okay.
And about 40% of our girls do pay the full fee. A little bit less than that, actually. But and about 50% of our girls pay $25 or less for the program.
Wow.
So we really rely on things like our fundraisers.
Sure.
We have a lot of grants. Sponsors are really important to us. So if there's anyone who is interested in being a sponsor, we appreciate that.
Sure.
And there's benefits that come with that as well. And then just individual giving, individual donors who just, the program resonates for them and they choose to donate. We have a lot of families that when they register their girls, choose to donate to make sure other girls have the opportunity too, which is amazing.
That speaks to the program.
Yeah, I think so. And
for sure.
Yeah. People are wonderful, and they I would say the majority of people are just very generous. People who want to see, it's good for our community, right? It's not just about their own little girl getting to do this program. They want lots of little girls to be able to do this program.
Right.
And when I say girl, I mean any girl or anyone who identifies as a girl or wants to be in the program with the girls. So we are, very inclusive program and really truly welcome anyone who wants to do the program.
If somebody wants to do a donation, how would they do that?
Yeah, they can go online, and there is on our website.
Okay.
And there is a donation link there.
Okay.
They can find us on Facebook as well. We have our Girls on the Run of Northwest Indiana. There's a lot of councils out there. Don't get us confused with Northeast Indiana, because that's
right.
there too, or Southwest Indiana, where there's a lot of us. They can go through there as well.
GOTROFNWI.org.
Yes.
Got it.
Right.
And then we were talking before the show about the opportunity, or if somebody ever wanted to do like a small or a big ongoing or recurring donation, that you have the ability to do that as well.
Yeah,
so.
we sure do. We have some monthly donors. You can sign up to give on a monthly basis.
Right. And minimum like $5, could somebody say? $5 a month? And that's all that stuff comes together.
Yeah, it sure does. It really adds up. It really adds up.
Get a few of those and you've sponsored a girl for the program.
Right.
Yeah.
We even, this last year, we rolled out a girl fundraising program called Unstoppable Us.
Ooh.
And so we engaged our girls in helping us support the financial stability and the longevity of the program, and they did an amazing job. It was really fun to see.
That is really awesome.
They love the program, so they're our best ambassadors.
Yeah, well,
so
sure.
They did a great job as well.
Because they've had the privilege to work the program and experience the program. What so some of the things that come to mind too when we're talking is that you look at some of the things that kind of like a social consciousness kind of things that we can fall prey to as we're growing up. And have they done studies to see have things shifted in communities, or statistics where maybe things that we would rather not see happen with young girls, things shifting or their lives becoming better?
Girls on Run International has not done that. I think if we look at, because it was International Women's Day on Sunday, there were quite a few articles out about, women's progress. And, in some ways, women have made a great deal of progress, right?
Yeah.
But some of the articles I'm reading were just a good reminder of how far we have to go. For example, education-wise, we're seeing more women graduate with college degrees than men these days. It's about 52% women.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And even at the master's level and doctorate level, there are quite a few more women, doing that kind of thing. But, regarding like representation in government, it's still
dismal.
Still pretty dismal.
Yeah.
CEO positions, C-suite positions, it's very dismal. Even recognition, one thing that really jumped out at me was like Nobel Prize winners for the sciences. Women are just not being recognized for the work that they do. So, in many ways, we've come a very, very long way. Sports is another place we've come a very long way. But, you saw just recently the U.S. women's soccer team, with all their success, was still not being paid as much as the men's soccer team. So they just achieved victory for that. But it's 2020.
I know. And it's like, get with the program.
Right. So we still have a long ways to go. But I'm encouraged, and I think my hope is that as we're raising up these girls to be empowered, strong women, that they're going to be making that change. And our hope is that society comes along with them, but I think women are still going to have to fight to get their place.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
This statistic came up in the real estate world is that there are twice as many single women buying homes than single men.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That isn't interesting?
And that's great to see that single women are buying.
That they can.
That they can.
That they have
right.
the wherewithal to do it, and that they see the benefit of doing that, I guess, for themselves.
They're in the position to do it and feel confidence to do it. And
right. I just, I look and I think, and I hope at some point they do some studies, because that's always encouraging to see that, like if they saw, things reducing just as a a benefit of somebody coming through, you know, this program, you know, that there's this many fewer teenage pregnancies, that there's this many fewer incarcerations of young girls, or any of those kind of things are always interesting to me.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I think there's dreams to do studies like that, but they haven't been done so far. The biggest longitudinal study that's been done, which was by Dr. Maureen Weiss at the University of Minnesota, was they looked at 3 months out from the program only, and they did some surveys, and they also did interviews with girls, their parents or their guardians, and coaches to see if those lessons stuck with them. 3 months out.
There you go.
So as opposed to just right at the end of the program.
Sure.
And the statistics were awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's very encouraging.
The girls, the lessons really stuck with the girls.
Wow. So, I wish they could do that like a year out and then, you know, 10 years out.
I think they want to. Yeah. It's just a big, big project for sure.
Probably. Yeah. Intensive and then probably expensive.
Yeah.
To do it.
Yeah.
What's your vision for Girls on the Run of Northwest Indiana?
So we've been thinking about that a lot. Right now, we just added 3 more counties, so now we serve 10 counties in Northwest Indiana.
Whoa!
Yeah, we just added Benton, Carroll, and White County.
Oh my goodness!
So, and we've envisioned, I've met several times with the rest of the council directors in Indiana. Our goal is to cover all the counties in Indiana so that every girl in the state has access to the program. We have some of the rural counties that are still not being served, and that bothers me. We need to get into all the counties. So we're working together to make sure that happens. It might be a few years for some of the areas. For Northwest Indiana, my goal is to be in every school. So,
nice.
And we're I would say in Lake County, we're pretty much in every public school, a lot of the private, a lot of charters, a lot of parochials. We have a little ways to go, but other counties we're still working on. LaPorte County, we're pretty saturated there too.
Really?
Yep, doing a great job in LaPorte County, but
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Lake, I understand because you started in Lake County,
right?
So
early on, we had a Girls on the Run champion from LaPorte County who I worked with for a long time, and Sue Barris is her name, and she's awesome, and she really got us some solid footing in LaPorte County.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see us serving every school, and within the next few years, growing by maybe serving an extra. I don't know. We're serving about 2,000 girls a year. I'd like to get up to probably like 2,400 girls a year, 2,500 girls a year.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd almost say bump that up.
No problem. Yeah, bump it up.
Yeah, get that bar up a little bit.
Yeah, eventually, who knows?
Yeah, 2,000 girls a year is a lot.
Yeah.
So you run this program twice a year?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Our spring season's a lot bigger, fall's a little bit smaller.
Okay.
But
why is that?
I think it's just hard. A lot of our coaches are teachers, and it's just kind of hard to get that program up and running. In the fall, we have to start pretty early because 10 weeks, you hit winter pretty quickly around here. So that's part of the issue. Although fall is the beautiful time of year, so we encourage fall program because the weather's actually better than the spring for the most part.
No kidding.
Yeah. So sometimes those 5Ks are chilly, but
yeah.
sometimes they're great. You know the weather around here. You just don't know.
It's a wild card.
Yeah.
I like that. The bump that number up to 3,000.
All right.
Yeah, 2,400 is just way too conservative. That's just gonna be like, okay, that's just like waking up and breathing every day. That's just gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to 3,000 someday, and it kind of depends on if we add more counties too. We don't have too much room to grow because we do border Girls on Run Chicago, which is a huge council. Okay. And Girls on Run of Michiana, which is like St. Joe County and a few more counties over that direction. So, kind of penned in a little bit in the lake.
Great. So in order to keep growing, then you need finances.
Yes.
Money's always good, but coaches.
Always need coaches.
Okay.
For sure. Always need new sites. Speaking of finances, we actually are in the midst of a challenge grant through Girls on Run International. We applied, and only 2 councils were chosen this year for that challenge grant, and it is based on the number of girls we serve over the next 3 years, they've challenged us to hit that 2,500 mark. And then finances wise, they've challenged us to raise our contributed income, so that's sponsors, grants, donations, by up to $40,000 more than we brought in last year, and
That's
they
a lot
will
of money.
match 50 cents to the dollar. So it's a possibility of getting $20,000 grant from Girls Are International. So
Oh,
yeah,
I just got goosebumps.
I know it's an exciting challenge for us. So this year we're really working hard at bringing in more donors,
Sure.
more sponsors, making our events even more successful. So yeah, we're
Oh, that
working
would
hard.
be exciting.
It's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
What a neat thing that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Funds for Growth. So they really, really want these our councils to grow and
Sure.
thrive, and so challenge us a little bit to see what we can do. There's no resting on our laurels here.
No.
we are always trying to grow and do better and be, more effective, because we want to serve more girls.
Right.
If we can raise more funds, we can hire more staff,
Right.
expand even more, and impact more girls. So it's exciting.
That's very exciting. That's
Yeah.
very exciting. So anybody listening, if you have, if it's not crossed your radar, or you have the opportunity to coach the program,
Yeah.
take a hard look at that,
Yeah.
because it feels like financially, yes, for sure. And then if there were more coaches, you'd be able to serve more girls
Right.
in the places that you already are. But
Right.
even like bringing this program to your school, your county, if
yeah,
not
check
already
and
there.
see. If it's not by you, then why not?
Yeah.
We can bring it there, or like I said, a lot of our sites, we leave some girls on the waiting list, and
Yeah.
we can always use more coaches for those
Yeah.
schools too.
And it would need to be a teacher or somebody on.
Not necessarily a teacher. A lot of teachers coach for us, but we have parents, so moms, dads, other guardians, and also community volunteers. They don't necessarily have kids in the schools, then they just come and volunteer, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
It's great for girls to see have different role models.
Yeah, and it's just a 10-week commitment plus the race.
Yeah.
So it's like
10 weeks.
that's doable. It's not like you're signing off for a year or whatever on
Right.
something.
Head coaches commit to twice a week. Assistant coaches can do once or twice a week.
Okay.
They do have to come to a 5-hour in-person training and do
Yep.
some online training.
Okay.
Because we do want to make sure our girls are getting the quality program
Sure.
and are safe. But yeah, it's a big commitment, but it's so worth it. It's a lot of fun.
I don't know if it's
Coaching
big
is
as what
a lot of
people
fun.
might think it is. That's
Yeah.
why it's like, oh, come on, you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 weeks. The 10 weeks go by fast. Our coaches are really sad when it's over, believe it or
Oh,
not. They're
I
just
can-
like,
yeah.
it's it can be a little exhausting, but at the same time, it's just the gifts they get from the girls are amazing. Lots of hugs.
Yeah.
And men can coach as well. We do have a lot of male coaches and they're great role models for our girls too.
They need that.
Yes, they're awesome.
Yeah.
We love our male coaches.
Well, and I just love anything that's out there counteracting, the negativity and the things that we have
Yeah.
that we're dealing with day in, day out.
Mhm.
This is definitely something that does that. Do you ever have like boys that might feel envious that they don't have a similar program out there? Or
Yeah, we've had one boy that has done the program.
okay,
He really wanted to be part of it. His friends were all being a part of the program, and so
Yeah.
they asked him, like, sure, do the program. It is designed for girls,
yeah,
and we appreciate having a place for girls to have their own space to really, be themselves and feel that support of other girls.
mm-hmm.
But we definitely are champions for boys, especially an opportunity for boys to learn how to express their feelings. We see that as a problem, that boys are not encouraged to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as much as I would love to have boys in our program, it's not the place for them. But I hope that there's other programs out there for boys.
I think like scouting, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
There's there's something for everybody. So,
Yeah.
especially because what I experienced when I saw some of the girls that were coming through it, and then obviously at the 5K, of I felt some of that, with some of some of the boy siblings are like, they don't
Yeah.
think they can do it.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
do.
for you.
Especially some of our coaches are like,
Yeah.
their boys are like, we want to be in Girls
No,
in
you
the
can't.
It's
No,
okay.
not the thing.
But there's a place for boys. They, they see their friends, their sisters setting those goals and accomplishing
Sure.
things. And I hope that they, just from seeing them, learn how strong girls are and how powerful they are. And, I hope they can just learn from their example as well.
Well, and then the girls are rippling out.
Yeah.
So then they're showing up differently
Mm-hmm.
with
hopefully, transferring some of the lessons they've learned with their brothers and friends, and being good friends to them too.
Right. Oh, I love this. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Love what you're up
Thank you,
to.
Terry.
I think that to hold this kind of passion and enthusiasm for as long as you have, it obviously has been your calling.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
to devote 13 years of your life to this.
Yeah.
And more.
I feel very fortunate, that I've found just what I should be doing with my life. You know, I mean, not everyone has that luxury. So
No, not everyone does.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that there's so many other people who love Girls on the Run as much as I do. I mean, we couldn't do this if it was just me loving Girls on the Run. You know, I mean, we have about 500 coaches every year that volunteer with us, and they love it. They're passionate about it.
Wow. Yeah. That's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it has been for you to grow this. Like 13 years ago when nobody knew who you were or what you were doing or what is this Girls on the Run.
Right.
To have to then to encourage and get the enrollment and then the support from the school systems must have been.
Right. So I'm still amazed at the moms who I managed to convince that this is a good idea to sign their kids up the first season.
Wow.
Somehow they trusted me that it would be a good idea, and I appreciate them. I mean, they didn't know what we were about, and even Girls on the Run International was still kind of in its infancy. I mean, it was a pretty small organization at that point, and not nearly as organized as it is today.
Oh, right.
So it's not like the national presence was even that well known. So people just had faith in it, and
thankfully,
I'm very grateful.
How long did it take until it caught on and then it started getting its own momentum?
You know what really helped it catch on was about maybe 4 or 5 years in, we hosted our first 5K. Before then, we were going up to Chicago with our girls. Maybe it was less than 4 or 5 years. Maybe it was 3 years. And then one of my friends and fantastic Girls on the Run mom, her name is Lori Leap. She said, "Why don't we do our own 5K?" And I was like, "Lori, I just don't know that I can do that. So I'll take care of it. I'll do it." And so Lori was amazing, and she spearheaded our first 5K, and really that got us a lot of recognition in the area. There's an article about it in the paper, and people started learning about it, and that's when it really caught on and caught fire for sure. Yeah.
So before that, when you were bringing the girls to Chicago, were all the girls able to go?
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of girls.
Okay.
The first season we had 15 girls
on
one team. And even like the second, third season, probably by our fourth season, I think we had 60 girls. That might have been when we first started having our own 5K.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 60, just 6? I mean, you lived it. I'm trying to imagine only 6 girls.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have pictures of our 5K where all the girls fit on the steps at Main Square in Lincoln Center on the gazebo steps.
Right.
And it was our big 5K, Now we've got, in spring season, we've got probably 1,400 girls.
Yeah. That's something.
Yeah.
That's something. That's a great, I can get that visual in my head.
Yeah.
And the 5K is amazing.
The 5K is really fun.
The little girls, a lot of them wearing tutus and pink capes, and they're just...
We encourage our teams, they all wear matching shirts, but then we encourage our team to go-to-rize their teams, so they're so creative. They'll do little tutus, or maybe their socks or hats or something that will kind of unify their team so they know who their girls are. And we like to do a theme every year, so every season. So our girl coaches try
wow.
to do that theme. I believe the theme is bubbles this year.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
This season, I think I just heard that today from my staff. So.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, we'll see where we go with that. Bubble,
Yeah.
I think a bubble machine might be involved. So
Yeah, I'm thinking little guns, little bubble guns.
yeah,
If people are going to
That'd
go
be
crazy
fun.
with bubbles.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, bubbles are fun. That's
Yeah,
a good
can't
thing.
go wrong. Can't go wrong with bubbles.
Somebody's got a hard job figuring that stuff out
I
all the
know.
time. Coming up with something new.
It is. It is kind of a tough job, but it makes it fun. It's nice to have a little theme.
Sure.
But the 5Ks are big undertakings. We have in the spring, we're at Highland High School on May 16th, and then we're at Chesterton High School on May 17th. Highland, we've got about 125 volunteers every year. Chesterton, a little bit less, probably like 60, because it's a smaller 5K, but it takes a lot of people to put on a successful event, to make it fun and safe and organized.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you've done enough times that you probably have it.
We have
a pretty good
down.
system.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Really? There's always something new, but
how funny.
we
I
do
was
have a
thinking
pretty good system down by this point. I've got an incredible team. Our staff is amazing. There's 6 of us here in staff now. 7 of us. But
so, aside from Sneaker Soiree, which is you got to go, what are some of the other fundraisers that you're doing through the year?
Our other fundraiser. So we have a lot of ongoing things like Unstoppable Us, our girl fundraiser. We have our Soulmates, who are our adult charity runners, who pick not just runners. We've really expanded that. They pick a challenge, such as a run or a bike ride, even yoga or CrossFit or something like that, where they set a goal for themselves and then do peer-to-peer fundraising to raise funds for Girls in the Run.
Cool.
And so our Soulmates team is awesome. They raise a lot of funds for us. And then we do a fall event called Luna Fest, which is a film festival for, by, and about women that Luna Bar, which is the Cliff Bar company, Luna puts together these films, and then we host an event, and they loan it to us, and we host an event to raise some funds that way too. It's a little smaller event, and it's at the Portage IMAX Theater. We had it there last year, and it was awesome. It's a really wonderful venue. They have like a party room upstairs that we used.
Nice.
Party balcony.
Yeah. They do. I can see that in my head now. Okay.
Yeah. So that worked great. So we're going to be back there again this year in October.
Okay.
Can't remember the exact date, but
okay.
That is an amazing. The films are always amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
and
that.
I should say men are invited to all of our fundraisers.
Sure.
And they're
sure for that.
Yeah, because men, they benefit from having just empowered amazing women. Yeah, and they want their girls to grow up to be strong women too. So we have a lot of great allies, and our dads and our other supporters for sure.
Well, I think we all benefit by getting our women a little bit stronger.
Absolutely.
We all win. So it's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff here for people.
That's fun.
Yeah, right. So if you can't make Sneaker Soiree, think about just maybe doing a donation in the interim. But definitely try to circle around for LunaFest. That sounds like a good idea.
Come out to the 5K. It's open to the public to run, or just come out and volunteer.
Really?
Yeah, anybody can come run. And you
I
have to
didn't know
register.
that.
Please register so we know that you're there. Keep everybody safe. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great first 5K opportunity. So if you are intimidated by the timed 5K events out there, it's not timed. You will not be last. We always have sweepers, so they're always our last people. So you'll be surrounded by such great energy. It's a lot easier to finish a 5K when there's little girls, yelling and screaming and being happy around you.
And if you just really, 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 and I didn't realize that was open to the public.
Yeah.
If you really want to get a feeling for what this organization is doing, show up for that.
Show up for the 5K.
Yeah.
It's also all our courses are stroller and wheelchair friendly, so you can if you need to bring someone in a stroller, or if you're looking for something that's adaptable for someone in a wheelchair, it's a perfect opportunity for that too.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool. Have you had people in wheelchairs?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We've had a lot of strollers for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, like I said, Ellie was using her wheelchair part of the time.
Right.
Yeah, and we've had girls, even just girls who've had broken their legs and used her wheelchair.
I didn't think about that.
I know,
Aw.
but they still got to be a part of it, so that was good.
Yeah. Oh, could
Yeah,
you
but
imagine?
we want to make sure it's accessible for everybody, so we try hard to do that. It's important to us.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love what you're up to.
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think you're amazing.
Oh, I think you're amazing too. You know, Terry used to be on our board,
I did.
so she knows a little bit about what we
Little
do,
bit.
and we appreciate your support.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah. We've got to let people know what you're doing
Yeah,
and what's out there. You know, because we
Yeah.
all everything gets a little bit better for everybody.
I think so. It's we try to just be a positive force in the world.
You are.
There's a
that.
lot going on right now, so we're trying to be a bright spot.
I think that's why we need stuff like this more than ever.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
to know that it's out there, to put whatever you can toward it,
Mhm.
because it just that's the stuff that we need to be growing and watering and feeding now.
Right.
You know, versus the
Right.
alternatives. So I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in. You've been listening to
Thank
WVLP
you.
103.1 FM, also live streaming at WVLP.org. So I want to thank the show's sponsor, Ryan Everhart, Diamond Residential Mortgage. If you need some financing to purchase or refinance your home, well, you might want to give him a call. You may not. He's probably inundated right now. I think mortgage
Yeah.
rates are at a 50-year low is what I read. So everybody's refinancing. But get your hat in the ring over there. It's amazing operation. He's got a good team. His direct phone line is 219-707-8429. His address is 350 Northland Drive in Valparaiso. Want to thank Jill Kim again, the Executive Director for Girls on the Run of Northwest Indiana.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate what you're doing to make the world a brighter place too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nobody says that. Thank you. I'll take that today.
Well, it's important. You're helping get the word out about lots of great things happening, so
It's my mission.
yeah, love it.
Yep. All right. Everybody have a great week.
Thanks.